Good morning everybody and welcome to another edition of Australian Panic. I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing. It's been fantastic. I really appreciate the support. Now this video is about pruning first year grapevines. We've had our vines growing from what they call field grown, which was in the last video, where they were already in a field growing. Then I've bought them, planted them a year ago, and now they've got to this stage. Now, I've already shown in the previous video how there's been various stages of growth. The ones I'm standing next to are grown amazingly well, but there are really 4 stages, and I'll take you through each of those. They are dead, growing a little bit, growing up to the wire, but not quite sure if, just how much we need to extend them or cut them back, and then these ones here, which are right in front of me, which have grown extremely well, and we'll deal with each of those separately. So let's get stuck into it. Now the first thing I think to remember is that our goal was to grow our new vines up to the cordon wire, like this one. If we zoom in, you can see the original vine here, and it has grown from about that point there and grown all the way up in 1 year, all the way across to here. And in fact it actually ends, I can show you this, it actually ends here. That is about 2.5 meters of growth. So it really just shows you that if you put them in and you treat them right and water them well and fertilise them, that they really can grow a long way in a year. That's our goal. So now we're going to look at some of the ones that didn't make it this far, and we'll come back to this one. Right, so here is vine situation number 1, which is a dead vine. There's just a hole there. I've put some gypsum down, getting ready for planting next year, and the irrigation point is still there. So we'll just have to move on from this one, and we'll plant out again at in about a month, which is going to be the start of September, the end of August, when our new replacement vines arrive. Okay, now vine situation number 2 is this vine here. It's a vine that started off growing from this point here, which is the graft, just where my fingers are, and it's grown only up to here, which is well below the fruiting wire. But the point with this one is it's fine, it's alive, and life is better than death, and the expectation would be, after pruning, that it would grow substantially in the new year. So what we want to do is to take this all the way down to about 4 buds from where it grew. So it grew from here, and sort of 1, 2, sort of 3, 4 buds. I'll cut it about here. Cut, there, gone. And we'll just take that literally off the string. There we go, and we'll throw that away. And that's ready for next year. I don't know if you can see that there's quite good, a bit hard to see in the dark, there's quite good buds here and here. That's what we're aiming for. This should sprout from here. And I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's quite green where I've cut it. Try and get it to focus on that point if we can. It's a little bit hard to see, but it is green there on top of the actual vine. If I can just get that to focus on my hand, there you go. So it's a green, nice green cut. That's what I'm looking for. And we'll put the guard back on that, and that will grow up, and very reasonable expectations it'll make the cordon wire. Now here is vine situation number 3. Now this vine has grown from our graft point here up a little bit here, and it's grown all the way up, and it has reached the fruiting wire. But you can see, I don't know if you can see that next to my fingers or even the string, but it's a very spindly little vine. We're after pencil thickness, so about 6 millimeters, 1/4 inch thickness. This is well under that. Now I've been sort of following the adage, if in doubt, cut it down to the ground. So with this one, and I only made it up to here, see? So with this one, I'm actually going to cut this one all the way back just the same as the previous one, even though it made the wire. So what we're going to do, if you can see it, I'm going to take a little bit off this one, this bit here. We'll prune to there, and then we're looking for these buds again, sort of, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll cut it through about here, and we'll get rid of that wire, that vine, which is nicely wrapped around the there, and we can throw that away, or we can burn it. So that's what we end up with. You can see that. Very hard to see. Sorry, there we go. Again, this focus is not great, but there you can see a nice green tip there, and that's cut back and that's ready to go for next year. Now this is our final vine, growing beautifully from our graft down here and growing right up. Beautiful thick vine compared to the previous one, and it's grown right out. This is the one that's grown out. Oh gosh, you can see it. It's going to the next vine. These are 1.5 metres apart, so it's grown at least 1.5 metres there and 0.5 metre say here. So looking at 2 metres of growth. This one we're going to cut down to about this node here, about 10 centimetres below the wire. What's going to happen then is each of these nodes here and here and just one around here, these will all shoot, and we'll train them left and right across the wire. We'll do multiple trainings this year because then we can select the best shoots to form our cordon. Just quickly, the reason I'm not using this cordon this year is really because there's only one side. I didn't realise that we would actually get such good growth. Otherwise, during the year, the growing season last season, I would have cut it here, that these buds would have grown, and I would have been able to espalier in the single year. From those previous vines that we've just cut, that will be the goal for this year. But that's okay, because it's all part of the learning process. So what we're going to do with this vine is tidy up all these little pieces here, and we're going to snip and tidy up and just get this thing, if I can, just get it to a point where it's neat and tidy all the way up. Just get rid of all those little extra buds. And then I'm going to cut it through here. Now I won't cut it just yet because I want to use these as cuttings to fill in some of the dead gaps as well. So just to show you, I will cut it here, but I won't cut it here just yet. And then we'll leave this, and that should grow beautifully next year. And here's one that I cut yesterday, about 10 centimetres below the top. It's a nice thick cane, looking for that espaliering out. So those are the 4 situations I've had to deal with at this point. 200 odd vines to prune, taking about 2 days. It's a nice manageable size. So in other videos I've mentioned things about scale. So one person, 2 days, the whole lot. So it's quite manageable. So I really hope you found this interesting. Leave any comments or suggestions below. The next video will probably be about the bud burst and growth of these vines. So we'll look forward to seeing that myself as we go through the rest of the year. And again, if you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and I'll see you all again next time.